YouTube, sorry this one took me so long to get out. I know every year I release my top 5 movies for the year around New Year's Eve, but I just got back from a trip to Southern California, being LA and San Diego, for what turned out to be like a 9-day trip, so it turned out pretty excellent. But let me just jump right into this. This was a very difficult top 5 to make, just so you know, and it made me realize even more that 2014 is actually turning out to be a very big year in movies, and us moviegoers are constantly blinded by 2015 in all its glory that we forget that 2014 is going to be a big year. Honorable mentions: Robocop does not make my top 5. I can tell you why. It's rated PG-13. Robocop 1, when it came out however long ago, was a rated R film for good reason. But just to make the money, I'm sure they're keeping it PG-13, which is a little upsetting. Monuments Men actually also made my honorable mentions, and that's only because the cast. I mean, it's directed by George Clooney, so it has George Clooney, it has Matt Damon, and it has Bill Murray. And just for that cast, I'll put that on my honorable mention. Hunger Games 3, and Hunger Games 3 did not make my top 5 because it doing what Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit has been doing, and what Harry Potter did and what Twilight did, which is make their third book into 2 different movies, and that I hate that. Transformers 4 or 5, 6. I'm over Transformers. It makes my honorable mention because it's a very profitable franchise, and if you like special effects, you like Transformers. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is made a sequel, and this is made my honorable mention because it's starring Donnie Yen and Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh was in the first one, and Chow Yun-fat was in the first one. But Donnie Yen's a big deal. Donnie Yen is an amazing actor, an amazing martial artist, amazing fight choreographer, amazing stunt choreographer, and he does, because of him alone being in this movie, which doesn't really deserve a sequel in the first place, that puts it on the honorable mention for me. The Giver, actually. I had no idea The Giver was out until I did a little bit of research for this video for you guys. But The Giver is going to have Meryl Streep and Taylor Swift. That's why I didn't make my top 5. But The Giver is an amazing book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Basic premise is it's a world without color, and then all of a sudden one person gets to see color, and that the whole idea of one person being exposed to it, you know, the 99 monkeys theory, then, you know, starts spreading the goodness of color, I guess. I read it in 8th grade, I think, but it was an amazing book, and I really am looking forward to seeing that movie. So, here's my top 5, and as you notice, there were a lot of sequels, or threequels, or fourquels on my honorable mention list, but the only sequel that makes my top 5 is Dawn of Planet of the Apes, which is the sequel to Rise of Planet of the Apes, which came out in 2011. Very, very, very compelling feature, Rise of Planet of the Apes, and it ended with making you want so much more, because it was a bit of a ramping up to it. And once you get going, it kind of ends in the middle of the adrenaline rush, but Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is looking like it's going to be a great feature. Next one, my number 4, Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise. This doesn't make my list because of Tom Cruise, but it makes my list because of the premise. It's someone who is stuck in a time loop and has to fix time, or solve that problem, and I've seen it before, but I think this, like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Time Cop or whatever, but that was a great movie. It was terrible quality, but like every other Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. But it was really entertaining. I am rambling, I am so sorry. Number 3, Interstellar, Chris Nolan. So, hear me out. Chris Nolan is an amazing director, amazing writer. And I feel like the same kind of energy he put into Inception, he's putting into Interstellar. And Inception is the idea of what's in your mind and how you can access people's dreams and incept people into giving people ideas. But Interstellar is taking that whole concept of what is beyond our perception and our reality into space, and just that, it really excites me. And number 2, I am cheating with number 2 here. Every Marvel movie. 2014 is the year of the Phase 2 for Marvel Studios. Phase 1 was from 2008 to 2011, and even into 12, with leading up to the Avengers. Phase 2 is almost entirely going to be 2014, 2015. And 2014 is going to set up for the Avengers 2, possibly with Captain America. And on top of that, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which is going to talk about Avengers 3. And on top of that, we're going to have Days of Future Past, which is probably the best X-Men storyline. Read it if you haven't. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is, if you've seen the trailer, it's quite amazing. But to make up for cheating on my top 5, I'm going to put this into a whole another separate video, my top 5 Marvel films of 2014. Link below. And my number 1 for 2014 is entirely because of the redemption factor. Godzilla. Godzilla came out, well, the American Godzilla came out in '98, and it was a severe disappointment because Godzilla fans everywhere, which is the whole world, because everyone, I mean, there's been more Godzilla movies than James Bond films. And although a big chunk of it has been corny movies in the 70s, it still has a lot of great features, especially the original Godzilla in the 40s, which had Ray Burr, and that's just alone, that is an incredible film. And another reason why I'm very excited for Redemption Godzilla is because Bryan Cranston is going to be in it, and everything he's in is just excellent. And if you haven't seen the trailer, I implore you to go watch it. Yeah, it's set in San Francisco. You meet a Bay Area native. I'm too excited for it, so check it out.